Well, it's been almost 4 days since the Punjab AAP MLA from Talwandi Sabo, she was on camera. It was found that she was assaulted, in fact slapped by her husband. Though the video was a couple of months back, couple of months old. In fact, we've been told that it was a incident that happened on July 10th, but the video went viral 4 days back, creating a furore. In fact, many opposition party leaders and also from NGOs and activists demanding that action being taken against the husband of the MLA, but nothing much has happened. Not even a police case, no cognizance has been taken. Though on the day of when this video emerged, the chairperson of the Punjab Women's Commission had claimed that they would take suo moto notice of this incident, but nothing much seems to have happened. I'm joined by my senior colleague Ruchika Khanna. Ruchika, first tell us, AAP is a party which clearly defines itself as a party with a difference where, priority is given to women issues, to women security, to everything. But here is an MLA who is educated, who's apparently been a teacher. She underwent this trauma. Apparently, that's what the footage showed, and nothing much has happened. Doesn't it really speak, volumes about the way women react to domestic violence in our society?
Of course, Rohit, we have to accept the fact that Punjab is a very patriarchal society. B, probably the position that Baljinder Kaur is in, probably it would be difficult for her to leave the bondage of a married life and be on her own.
Right.
And C, it is still considered a taboo, to be a single woman, or
right.
to be held responsible for a marital relationship gone wrong. So I think probably these are the factors. I've interacted with Baljinder Kaur, a very strong woman. I've known her, to be a path breaker in many things. For a person, it is because of this that she was chosen to head the women's wing of Aam Aadmi Party.
Right.
One of the very strong activist kind of women. So that is why it is all the more sad that a person like that would let someone abuse her. And from what we hear, the abuse is not something which was a one-off incident.
Right.
It's been going on for almost a year and a half.
Right.
Yeah, and it's more of the man feeling slighted because the woman is a more powerful person,
Right.
a more well-known entity.
Right. And in fact, interesting point that Baljinder Kaur was the head of the Punjab AAP woman wing. I mean, that makes it even more bizarre in a sense that this is an incident that happened and she has not yet reported this matter. It's reported that this incident happened on July 10th, but no complaint has been filed. But for the AAP government, I mean, as I keep on mentioning that they've been claiming that they are very particular about women issues. Suo moto, not filing a case or trying to probe or trying to find out what had happened. Isn't that something that people will seek answers on?
In my opinion, I think a lot of people are very upset because of the silence on this issue.
Right.
But the silence more on part of the MLA rather than
Right.
the government. That is what is causing a lot of concern amongst people that if a woman as powerful as her, somebody who has been heading the women's wing of a ruling party in the state, if she has to undergo such torture, what else could be said about the domestic abuse suffered by hundreds and hundreds of women in the state? Also, very honestly, I think the government is waiting for her to first come up and lodge a complaint.
Right. But have they got some kind of an indication that the MLA, for almost a year, as you've been mentioning, she's been allegedly subjected to all this torture, but he's not come forward to at least report this incident. So do you still believe that she will finally come out and tell the government or the police or the investigating agencies that, look here, I am being subjected to this trauma for so many months and the case should be registered against my husband? Do you actually believe that she could do that?
No, I think from what I hear, the so-called grapevine is that probably some intervention is going on at the level of a very senior functionary in the party,
Right.
because he is the one who had in fact got both of them together
Okay.
and recommended that they tie the knot.
Right.
So I think at the level of this very person, there's some kind of rapprochement that is being worked out.
Right. And also about this, the media reports that Baljinder Kaur, ever since he got married, she was someone who was very active on the in her constituency, meeting people. And suddenly, when she got married, after that, she had gone into a shell. In fact, not seen in her constituency at all. I mean, people close to her, you've been talking to them. What do they say? I mean, explain to us the kind of trauma she must have been going through these 1 year of marriage. I mean, are people willing to talk about it? Or it's a very
No,
close thing,
I
family.
think from what I understand from her, in my interactions with her, which is much before this incident
Right.
was reported, from what I've understood, she, she probably tried to dim her own light, in order to satisfy the ego of the other person.
Okay.
So it was not, I think on her part, it was very conscious decision to save her marriage
Right.
and make things work. And I think that is one of the reasons she had taken a back seat. But then just before the election, she was out there in the field and she was campaigning. But of course, I mean, as you would recall, she had one of the lowest margins, winning margins.
Right.
That is only because,
She
of
couldn't.
this fact that she was not seen much in her own constituency.
And apparently, her husband is also an AAP
That's
leader.
right. That's right.
So doesn't it become
He's an
incumbent?
AAP worker. Yeah,
So doesn't it
let's
become
not-
incumbent on the AAP as a party? Let's keep the government aside for a moment. For the party, if he's a worker, this video has emerged where it's clearly seen that this the husband of hers is slapping her. So was it incumbent on the party itself to have inquired or made some kind of an intervention? The least they could have done is suspended this man from the party, because there is evidence now to suggest that actually he had indulged in the abuse. At least they could have taken action against their own party worker, wasn't it?
Rohit, he's not holding any organizational post in the party.
Right.
So, B, also, as I told you, that at the level of a very senior functionary in the government,
Right.
some kind of peace is being brokered between the two sides. So I think they're just waiting that either there's going to be a rapprochement or probably they could go their own ways.
And also, have you heard anything from the Punjab Women Commission? Manisha
Yeah,
Gulati had.
Mrs. Manisha Gulati, the chairperson of the Punjab Women's Commission, she is presently abroad.
Right.
But it is only after she returns. From what we hear, the commission has actually gotten the paperwork done for
Right.
issuing a notice to the man for domestic abuse. But I think they're just waiting for her to return, which is probably later this week.
Right.
And once she signs the papers, the notice will be issued.
Thank you so much, Ruchika, for those details. So, as we've been discussing a big issue, the incident of the slapping of Talwandi Sabo MLA Baljinder Kaur, creating a lot of furore, and now demands of action being to be taken against the husband. Those demands are constantly being raised. As Ruchika mentioned, that the Punjab Women Commission chairman, she is expected to return to Chandigarh, and apparently a notice would be served. We'll keep on providing you all the updates on this story, and not just this story. We'll be providing you details on various other political as well as entertainment and other related stories. You can log on to our website tribuneindia.com, and also follow us on our other social media platforms like Instagram, Tribune, and Twitter. I beg your pardon. Meanwhile, thanks for watching.